Thank you. Good evening, everyone. If we could just rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening. Can you hear me okay, Bob? All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the May 23rd, 2019 meeting of the Wareham School Committee, regular meeting. The meeting is being recorded by WCT TV and also by Ms. Ruiz. If anyone else is recording the meeting, please let me know. Tonight, student rep Emily Roberge is not able to make it with us tonight. She had a previous commitment. Public comment? Is there anyone that wishes to address the committee? Seeing none? Before I continue, Mr. White did ask me to make sure people are speaking directly into the microphone, about 6 inches from it, in a regular voice, and don't turn your head and while you're speaking into it. I hope I'm doing okay, Mr. White. So on to good news. Anyone have good news? Go ahead, April.
I attended my first DECA auction this weekend, and I have to say that it was a great experience. The kids did an amazing job. It was a lot of fun, and it was really cool to see that the auctioneer was a former Wareham graduate who is a professional auctioneer, so that was a lot of fun, and he brought a lot of excitement and energy, and the kids really did a great job.
Ms. Bakayaki.
So it's the time of year for lots of great celebrations, and this week I was able to attend the Unified Track Meet. It was the sectional meet, and it was hosted by Special Olympics at Bourne High School. It was really another fun day. I know I talk about Unified Track a lot. It's one of my favorite things. And this week, there had to have been at least 8 other schools there, more probably. And I'm told unofficially that Wareham came in first. So, and now they'll move on to the state meet next week. But there are lots of great things going on. I know tonight there was a program at the middle school for the incoming, at Minot, for the incoming 3rd graders. I didn't get a chance to get over there, but I think it's great. I know there's a lot of extra work that goes in by a lot of people at this time of year, and I'm hoping that all the parents can take advantage and attend all, after all this work goes into it, attend all these celebrations.
Where was that Unified Track Meet?
Bourne High School.
Is that Bourne?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think they've got one more left.
They do, at Milford High School.
Milford.
Mm-hmm.
When is that?
I believe it's next Wednesday.
Yeah, I'm going to try and make that. I haven't made it to any of those, and speaking with a friend of mine who went and saw one, the first one she saw, she sees a lot of them. The first one she saw, she said she was in tears. She just, it was just the kindness and the team, the sportsmanship and everything. So I definitely want to try and get to one.
Wareham does host, we did host a few home meets.
Right,
So
but these are huge, I guess.
These are much bigger
Yeah.
in more schools, yes.
I believe our track team was recognized by the MIAA because of their participation with the Unified Track, which is also pretty fantastic.
Dr. Schwam.
I just wanted to say that today was a fantastic day. I went over to Minot, the 4th grade classroom, to hear students give speeches about, they had to act as though they were the principal of the school, and they were telling their group about the dress code requirements. This class, they were dynamic. They were learning really good skills about how to speak in front of others, which I think are really important skills for as they move ahead. And it was just so much fun to be with kids.
Awesome. Dr. Shaverhood.
Thank you. Today and tomorrow, we have students, 8th grade students at Woods Hole, the Junior Researchers Program at Great Marsh. So they are exploring and collecting data on marsh ponds for the Woods Hole researchers. So that's exciting for our students. And today, this is breaking news. We received notice this afternoon that Ryan McSherry was selected as the recipient of the 2019 Globe Foundation Scholar Athlete Award, and she will be going to the awards ceremony on Sunday, June 16th, so congratulations to Ryan. Very nice.
All right, so I too attended the DECA auction. I totally agree. I think we had a quorum there. I think Ms. Bakayaki and...
We weren't anywhere near
I
each
know,
other.
I know, I'm just saying. Shouldn't say that aloud, but we were all there. Ms. Bakayaki and Ms. Rossi and myself. And it was a great time, as always. They do such a great job. I think it was better this year than last year. Attended the athletic awards. That's always a great time. I was really moved by a lot of the speeches that night by the coaches. That was really great. And I also attended the Little Shop of Horrors, and that, you know, the Wareham Viking Theater Club. They do such a great job, and they're so good. The actor, it's just so awesome to see the actors and actresses grow, you know, from year to year, or even play to play in the same year. And that's all I have right now. Anything else? All right. Moving on to the report of the student representative. She's unfortunately not with us tonight. And moving on to the minutes of the meeting of May 9th, 2019. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Any questions or discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Abstentions?
I wasn't here. Yeah, I'm staying.
Ms. Spear? Passes 4-0-1. On to the CARE Program Students Youth Empowerment Club.
So I just direct. Oh, okay.
Good evening, and thank you for having us here to provide an update on the Builders Club / Youth Empowerment Group this year.
So, I'm sorry, what's your name?
My name is Sophia Chirlucci.
Welcome.
Introduce yourself.
My name is Eden Alden.
Welcome.
My name is Alexia Cardoza.
Welcome.
Move the mic a little closer, Dan. Move the mic a little closer. 6 inches, they said.
Every year, members of the K Club at the high school, along with their advisor,
Colonel Stanton.
Colonel Staten, and the Kiwanis official, install us as members of the Builders Club as we repeat the oath of service, receive membership pins and cards, and then celebrate with our families.
Good job. Is it A and B?
To
Okay, wait a second.
emphasize the fact that we
You have to speak right into the microphone. We can get one more slide going.
the fact that we are a group that works with your hands as well as your mind and heart in service to other fours, a better community. Every day we paint your heart in helping hands, and also use the hands as our
Logo.
logo.
Okay, you don't have to read the rest. Okay.
The Wareham Free Library heard about the Builders Club group and invited us to participate in a focus group discussion to give them some ideas for updating the young adult and teen section of the library.
Okay. The Freestyle Emergency Clothing Program has been helping students in wardrobe de-stress all year with donated clothing distributed as needed. Did your shoes lose its sole? We had a spare pair that fit. Spill chocolate milk all over your shirt at lunch. We had a clean one available in your size.
One of the first projects the Builders Club Care wanted to focus on was taking care of litter in Wareham. We had someone of Don't Trash Wareham come and take to us about the impact of litter. And since that time, we had maintenance the middle school campus with often leadership.
That's good.
The next project we began to respond to hunger in our community is our most successful one and the most work. The STAGE program, STAGE stands for Students Taking Action for the Good of Everyone, provides food on the weekends to Wareham students who face food insecurity. Students apply this confidential program through the nurse's office, and each weekend receive a backpack filled with non-perishable food items for 2 dinners, 2 breakfasts, and 2 lunch, and a snack per school-aged child. This has been going on for 4 years, and this year we're proud to be able to extend the program to the Minot students at the middle school. We have many donations that go to the STAGE backpack program from a lot of kind people, including the Tabor family, who raised money by having a golf tournament in memory of a beloved family member who passed away. Others include CMAS, Cavanta and Chatham Village Croutons, and the last major one is the Girl Scouts, because every year they donate a car full of food. We have also received donations from a few churches. Another project that we started this year is working to gain annual sponsors to guarantee sustainability for our STAGE backpack program. Businesses and individuals donate $125, which provides food for 1 student for an entire year. These folks are now listed with an appreciation on our website.
This spring, we did some further research into hunger in our area and found out that there was a local soup kitchen that provided meals to the public on Tuesday night at the Foursquare Church in Onset. We volunteered to plan, cook, serve, and clean up a meal for the guests and successfully accomplished that on May 7th. We were able to share some of our STAGE food with these people, and the soup kitchen shared some of their food with us.
Another is we'll be continuously updating our new Builders Club Care group website. Will be able soon. Though the Wareham Public School website, this is very exciting for us.
We are fortunate to have so many helpers and contributors to our projects, and here is a list of some of the people who have helped. We all worked hard this year, learned and grew as individuals, and had some fun too. That's it.
Thank you very much.
Are there any questions?
Any questions? Spare.
Thank you. I know it's not easy to come up here sometimes because I do anything to not have to talk into this microphone. But for the freestyle clothing program, where do you get the donations from?
We get them from,
Okay, go ahead.
we get them from the people that don't really use them that often. Like they say, so we put like posters in the school. Say if you want to donate and you bring them to Miss Barton's room, and you say we make them into like little bags for other people, for the food.
Thank you.
Good job.
All set?
All set?
Ms. Rossi?
What's been your favorite part of each of the programs? So you enjoy doing the clothing or the food or the Don't Trash Wareham? What's been your favorite thing so far being part of this club?
Every time I do something, it feels really nice to know that you're helping someone in need.
It just feels good to do something because when you do something, other people make feel good, then you feel good about yourself that you're helping somebody else. So then you have a good day for yourself.
Good answers.
You can answer too. Go ahead. No? Okay.
Ms. Becker?
I don't have a question, I just want to say thank you, and you should be so proud that you're not just helping the community in your school, you're reaching out to the whole community. And I just want to thank you for defining stage, because as long as I've known about the program, I didn't know what that stood for, so thank you.
Welcome.
And I love that you have a website, so that we can always know what's going on in your program, so thanks for doing that.
So we just made it. We just made the program.
The website.
Yeah, I mean the website this year.
So is it from the, so I can go on the Wareham Public School website?
No, we're working on that. Oh, you want?
Soon.
All right, I'll wait there.
Yeah, soon.
Okay, great, great, thank you very much. Thanks for coming tonight, I'm sure we'll see more of you in the future.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Sorry. And I was impressed with the STAGE acronym too. What does it stand for again?
Students taking action for the good of everyone.
Up that. And you've been working with the Don't Trash Wareham folks?
Yes.
You know, Nora Bickey? Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
She's great.
She actually came and talked to us about the impact of litter.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And I'm happy to see Colonel Stanton's involved in this. He's really something too. I'm really happy you guys came by. Thank you. Oh, Dr. Shabbat.
So if somebody would like to donate to the STAGE backpack program, how would they do that?
If you go to our website, we have a link that leads you to a document where you can fill it out and then send it to Miss Barton.
Okay? And how many students are in your club that help? 8.
It's more like 10, I think.
8 or 10. We can't think of it right now.
Sorry,
We weren't prepared.
I was prepared.
Are you,
It
is it the
varies.
same students every time usually?
Through the CARE program, if they sign up for it, then they go there, and sometimes we have there's multiple kids that sign up, so some kids will get their second option and go to a different class. So every CARE term, if that makes sense, we always have a new group of students.
But some
Some do
sign
continue to stay.
and some sign up for all the time. They're at the middle school.
And how much longer are you going to be doing this? Because, you know, our school year's about over.
Probably a couple more.
Probably until CARE ends, and then we will. I'm pretty sure we will continue doing the stage throughout.
Throughout the summer?
Well, not throughout the summer, but throughout the school year.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Advisory Council.
Yes, they were not able to come this evening, but they sent a message that they asked me to deliver. They wanted to share that they're so excited about the progress that they have been making in the following areas: the outdoor classroom, the outdoor eating area. They're creating a copy station for students in the library. They're adding more times for the bathrooms to be opened. They're improving the student selections at lunch, and they're adding a water bubbler filler station in the cafeteria, but they're also going to be ordering or having one installed in the gym. They're looking at adding a message board to the cafeteria, and in June, they plan on surveying students for more ideas on how to improve the learning environment at the high school. So they've been busy, and we're seeing results.
Very
That's great.
ambitious. Thank you. Next, we're on to the vote on new policy minimum wage.
Oh, for the screen, okay, let's see. Yep.
As you know, we mentioned this, new policy at the last meeting, kind of had people, introduce it then, and we're going to take a vote on it now, one way or the other. If there's any questions or comments or amendments, feel free. Anyone? Motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Any abstentions? Passes 500. Thank you. On to acceptance of gifts.
I would recommend that $100 from Pearl Barrows for the Deacon's School for the classroom needs of Mrs. Allen's class, $1,400 and $436 from School Mall to Deacon's, $1,440.54 and $508.02 from ASD.com to Deacon's, $1,636 from Life Touch to Deacon's, $15 from Doris Dinner to Deacon's, $500 from Harbor Pilgrim Healthcare to the high school to support track and volleyball, a school supply appreciation basket from the neighborhood Staples to the Wareham Middle School, and $2,445 for the renewal of a license for Adobe Creative Suite from WCTV to the school district. So I would ask the committee to please approve all those gifts.
Do I have a motion to approve?
So
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? Questions? I would just say that, again, I'm always humbled whenever I see, quotes like this, small or large. But I'm particularly impressed with this one from WCTV with the Photoshop. It's the whole package. It's a suite, and I'm a little familiar with it. And there's the Pro version, and it comes with Photoshop, Illustrator, Acrobat Pro, Dreamweaver, Fireworks, Animate, After Effects. I've worked with Dreamweaver, Fireworks, and Illustrator, and they're top-notch programs. And it's great stuff.
I'm jealous,
So I'm really happy about that. So we have a motion and a second. All right, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Any abstentions? Passes 500. Business manager.
Good evening. So we're winding down our FY19. I put together a detail and summary of where we are from July 1, 2018 to about mid-May. The report, again, doesn't show any significant difference between last year and this year. You'll see that the Wareham Public Schools has expended approximately 74.82% of our total budget through FY19 at this point, and last year, at the same time, we were at 73.32, so we're pretty spot on to what we were last year, very close. You'll see there's a remaining balance of $7.3 million of unspent funding. Of that unspent funding, there's about 4.2 million, encumbered for salaries for the remainder of the school year, which leaves a remaining balance of about $3 million to cover any unanticipated or unencumbered expenses, salaries, people that are paid on time slips, and any other end-of-the-year expenses that come through. So, I mean, we're 87.5% through the year, and we're at 74%. So budget-wise, I think we're in a pretty good place. I don't know if you have any questions on any of, there's a couple, couple areas that have overspent.
So any questions? Ms. Ross?
So I'm looking on the tuitions page. It's, I believe, the third to last page in the packet that you, under the contracted services. I'm just curious why it's in the red, like what is 19,400?
So that's regular ed tuition, which is an agreement that we have with a parent that we would fund tuitions for a period of years. And this is the third, I believe the third or the second year, but the final year.
This is for one student?
Yes. This is the final year of that agreement.
Okay, and the other question I had is on the first page, the business and finance, the $9,816.75 in the red, what is that?
The business office this year had a major turnover in staff. Pretty much just about everyone's been replaced, so we have new staff in there, which brings in new computers or new furniture or just new supplies and materials for each individual, because we've combined one of our offices and put several people in one. So, I mean, this is probably a unique year that it went over.
I think those are the other questions I have for now.
So when you say 7.3 million left, and about 4 million or so is for salaries, that includes the like the 5 checks they get at the end of the year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's how we do it here.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions? Ms. Ross?
Sorry. On the second to last page, under high school, whenever I see something in the red, I just want to know what it is. So there's a $85,672 and $60.59 under supplies and materials, and then a $68,996.01 for building utilities. What were those?
So for the supplies and materials, last year each school and department took a huge decrease to their budget. And honestly, I think we just didn't budget enough for the high school, especially with a new grade going into the high school. So we may see that again next year, but we're working on making adjustments to next year's budget based on these numbers. The building utilities this year, we all know, has been a horrible year there for heat, air conditioning. So we've spent a lot of money on HVAC, just band-aiding things, trying to get that taken care of.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions or comments? All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Go to the superintendent.
I would ask that you approve the bill and payroll warrants, including the ones that are not listed. So I will read them for you. 518 in the amount of $149, or I'm sorry, $149,690.39. On May 11th, $876,226.66. On May 30th, addition to the one that's listed, $147,497.15. And on May 23rd, in the amount of $331.62. So I'd ask you to please approve all of the bill and payroll warrants.
Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Passes 500.
Earlier this this week, I had sent you our comprehensive district review. When we sent it, compiled was a comparison between 2012 and then our current report of 2018. I also sent the review from the 12, so you could read it if you so desired, and the most recent in 2018. I've been told by DESE this will be appearing on the website, the DESE website, probably tomorrow. And it just, what we've done is we've just compared the two and the different gains and different pieces that they measured. So if you have any questions, we'd be very happy to answer them. And I think that this will be integrated in other reports as we move forward.
I think we're going to put it on the agenda formally for the next meeting.
Okay.
Unless there are any striking questions at the moment.
No, I can put it on the agenda.
Yeah, all right, thank you. Mid-year cycle
Yes.
review?
So next, I also sent you my mid-year cycle review. And what I did is I just highlighted different pieces that have been completed through the school year that would match certain goals. So if you have any questions or comments, I would be more than happy to answer them for you, or suggestions.
Ms. Spear?
I just have a question for goal 3. It's to improve academic performance of all students. The first one says students will be provided with social, emotional, and academic support during the school year, and then effectively made to offer counseling support services year-round. So, how are we offering it year-round?
Year-round, because we have Gosnell Services in our district, and so what they do is they provide services in the summertime.
So do we, I mean, like besides IEP and 504s, do we choose who we think needs year-round support, or is that built into whatever accommodations we have for them?
Well, part of it is with parent permission as well. Students can self-refer, and parents or guardians can also refer to continuing that year-round.
Great, thank you.
Any other questions or comments?
That's it right now, thank you.
Anyone else? Ms. Smalley?
So I have a question about the Walker review. First of all, I'm curious why we chose Walker, because a few years back, we had a partnership with them where we were partnering for West Wareham Academy as well as social and emotional self-separate curriculum at DECUS. And at that time, we weren't really happy with their services. So I do sort of question, why would we bring back an agency that we weren't overly happy with?
Well, this program review came out of our Director of Student Service office, and that was the one that was felt that would best meet our needs. So that's why we've not received the report, and we're anxious to see what they have to say.
Okay.
But I also hear what you're saying.
And then the other question on that is, going through CPR myself, I'm disappointed in a way that they really don't look at programs in a way that you would expect them to look at programs. Like, they're not looking at instruction, they're not looking at what type of curriculum really that we use. It's more about compliance, the instructional grouping, how many, the continuum of services, placement of students. So and one of their main things that they do is they go through student files to check this out. So was Walker doing that? So I don't.
Walker did not go through student files, but what they did is they went out, they looked at what we were offering, were we able to meet needs with the programs that we had, and were we providing really the services. So while there certainly are many, many more pieces in the CPR, it was felt like this would help us identify some weaknesses.
Okay. Also, I heard from a pretty reliable source that the related services had a separate agency looking at them. Is there a reason for that?
From my understanding, the person that came in was familiar with the programming and had worked with had worked in those areas so they could better identify what should be being offered. And again, waiting on that report.
Okay.
When you say related sources, what's that?
Services. So it'd be PT, OT, speech,
Oh, okay.
all of that. Another question about CPR. So not only does it include special ed, but it also looks at EL. So are we doing anything to prepare for that, or?
Well, we're getting ready to, and that will be the second part.
Okay.
But I think that what would be helpful would be, once we get the report, would be come to committee and share it.
Yes, that would be good. Thank you. And I just have another question about on goal 3, you said, you talked about expanding programs to address needs of students. Can you give me some examples?
Sure. Next year, we're offering at the high school gaming and coding courses. So that will be, right now, I believe there's enough for 2 sections, but I'm hoping to get a few more. We also have purchased an electric car that students will be building, and it's a semester-long course, and it's full. So we've done that. We're looking to see what other programs we can put in place for students. We're looking at how do we expand our PASS program. And we're really looking at, if we move locations, could we offer courses that would access equipment and supplies that we have in the high school? That we think that would be a nice offering for our students.
Anything for middle and elementary you can think of?
Well, we're exploring what we can do with the middle school. And right now, we're really kind of in a little dilemma with class sizes because of the building space. But we're exploring if we can put in some rotation type classes. Foreign language is one of the areas that we've been exploring at the middle school, and how would we integrate that into their curriculum. Again, at the elementary, we introduced drama this year, and we're just assessing if there are additional needs.
And just more questions. Oh, sorry, Marie. Yeah, so where you say you expand alternative program to summer, are you referring to the co-op day program, or?
The PASS program, the night program is going to be expanded into the summer.
Okay, so not the day program then?
No, we'll still have the 5th quarter as we've had in the past. We will have, and then the care program piece, but we're also offering the night school type program for students. We've been surveying students, and it appears around 3 to 4 o'clock is the time of day that they would like to see the offerings. We're excited about this possibility because during the school year, many of our students aren't able to take elective courses. It's just getting requirements in, so getting their electives is very difficult. By having this summer offering, we'll be able to provide students some additional opportunities. We also received that competitive grant with the state so we can integrate social skills and a social worker into the program to provide additional support.
And do you happen to know how many day students we do have in the co-op?
Not off the top of my head. I believe we checked on Monday, and we're graduating 24 to 25 students.
That would include PASS though, right?
Yes. PASS program,
And my last question is, on goal 4, you talk about outreach to preschools. What preschools have you been able to outreach to?
Well, I know that the preschool director, our preschool person, works with an area of preschools and networks with them. I'll get you the list. I don't have it also.
That'd be great.
Okay.
Thanks.
So on goal 3, you have outreach to parents and guardians. Can you elaborate on what that means specifically?
Just the communication through the website, through messages, through our social media piece. We send surveys, we send, notices. We try to get people in. Sometimes we're not very successful with that.
Okay, so when you say people in, what do you mean?
Parents for different programs to talk about upcoming events or upcoming class activities, like parent nights, guardian nights, so they can learn about curricular offerings.
Okay. I did have another one. I know I'm not finding where it was. We can come back while I re-find the thing. I had the question about trying to navigate without a mouse is really throwing me off, so thank you.
Mrs. Bakaki?
Well, I do have a question, but I also want to say, so we're talking about outreach to parents. So I witnessed at the high school on many occasions, but just recently, 2 occasions where they work hard. So I'm a member of a couple of organizations there, so that's why I was there. And they do all of this work, and they communicate to the parents, and 10 parents show up. It's really, really frustrating, and it happens year after year after year. And it's really frustrating. So, I mean, a couple of years ago, we had a parent forum. We invited the school committee. The first year that Laurie and I were here, and we invited parents, and we said, come and talk to the superintendent, ask for any question you want. And how many parents came? 5. It was so disappointing and discouraging. Yeah. My question is, under Goal 1, you have supported development of alternative classroom in the middle and minor. Could you just tell me about that?
We designated a teacher this year that would work with students that were having difficulties being successful in class. We worked with mindfulness, we worked with motivation, goal setting. Students were identified, meetings were held with parents, and students moved in to the classroom. They continued with their regular classroom work, and so if they were able to have successful class time, they would move out into the regular class. When they were having difficulties, they were back into the one area. And so as we move forward, we were able to identify some minor students that needed some extra support, and they were moved into this program, providing the extra support. Again, the same concept. They would continue with their regular education courses, receive the support in the classroom, but then move back when they were able to.
So would you call it a success, and will you continue it next year?
Yes, we will continue it next year, and yes, I would say to you, it's been successful. With the students that we moved into the program, we saw a significant decrease in discipline, referrals. We also saw a very positive demeanor from students when they were in classes. We didn't have the disruptive behavior, and they were able to be successful as being part of the classroom. And we're gathering information and data that we will be sharing with you. But yeah, we've been very pleased. And I think probably what I would also go on to tell you would be last year, the one student that I know that struggled so much, I never saw him smile. This year when I see him sometimes at school, and he's smiling, and he's enjoying being at school.
So I don't have any more questions, but I would just ask you to talk a little bit more about the connection between the school and the town, because I really feel like that has been important in the last year, not only with the approval of the new school. I know there's been a lot of improved communication between the school and the town, and just talk about that a little bit.
Sure. Yeah, it's a partnership, and we have to work collaboratively to move everyone ahead. The town administrator and I speak on a very regular basis. We work together when we have some common issues, and we keep each other informed when there are certain things happening. I can't tell you how supportive the police chief has been for us this year. Well, in the past too, but more so this year. Just anything we need, however we can help, he's right there. The communication's been wonderful. Certainly, as we move into the new school, we've had a number of meetings with various departments, the fire department, the police, the EMS. The fire department has just been, they're at our meetings, about every meeting that we have, helping, giving us suggestions to the new school and working ahead, being proactive, all in the best interest of our students and of the town. So it's very nice. The Board of Selectmen certainly has been responsive when we've asked questions. The Finance Committee, one of the things that after our last budget from last year, I think one of the things that I noticed, we just need to up the communication a little bit. So I spoke with the finance chairman and Mr. Pigeon, and we're going to be visiting them on a quarterly basis. Wednesday, I'll be visiting the Finance Committee just to have a dialogue about how our budget's going, how our year's going, and how we're working together. Our hope is, by having this increased communication, then when we go to Capitol and we have to, fund some of our needs, everyone will have a much better idea of why and what we've been doing to maintain. So that certainly is our goal.
Thank you. Well, the reason I bring it up now is because it's in your document, and we don't often have the opportunity to talk about that. It's not something we, as a school committee, talk about often. So I thought it was a good opportunity for us to talk about.
No, it's great. Yeah. On that note, this upcoming Wednesday, we're going before the FinCom, and I know we're on the agenda for the capital planning at some point, aren't we? Oh no, maybe I'm getting mixed up with FinCom then.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, didn't want to mess you up there. Poor Sue. Anyone else? Ms. Rossi.
Yeah, so sorry, I found where I had the question. On reviews with principals under goal 1, where it says student data, what does that entail? What kind of data and what is being learned and what is moving forward with that?
Oh, well, so I meet weekly with principals, and probably once a month we sit down and we look at student discipline data, we look at attendance data. Quarterly we'll look at visits to nurses, visits to guidance counselors, we'll look at grades, percentages, and the one reason why, I look at it for many different reasons. One, it helps identify if there are some areas of need, students having need. It also helps us see if we're meeting the needs of our students. And I think a few of the things that I would look for would be if I have high absenteeism, if I have a lot of visits to nurses and tardies, I would wonder why? What are we not doing that we possibly could do to help get our students to school and keep them in class? So it's those kind of pieces. We look at where discipline occurs in the school day, or are there any kinds of patterns, days of the week, times during the day, locations in the building, because all of that helps us figure out, first of all, do we have enough supervision? What's going on at that point? And how do we need to adjust to lower the discipline referrals? So those are the pieces and things that we look at.
So the data is, with the review of the principals, is mainly for disciplinary and possible medical or what have you need that may be being missed at home because of the nurse visits or absences?
No, well, no. We also look at grades and look at grade distributions, but a lot of times, if you see high nurses visits, and especially if you look at certain times of the day or students that are visiting the nurse quite a bit, I'm not sure that I would say health reasons are being missed at home. There may be something else going on with that student that we really need to check out to see if they're okay. And it might not be health related. It might be they might not like math class, or they might be having a difficult time with some students, or maybe they are having some home issues. But it's like a little window that we need to look at.
And is it like assessments of like IEPs and 504s and things like that part of this data as well? Or is that not something that's reviewed with the principals? Like, when is that part of the collection?
Somewhat, but that's a interesting question, because what we're doing right now is we're digging into that information, and we're looking at our students on 504s and IEPs to see their grades. Do we see any trends with students' grades? We're looking at their attendance, and we're looking at their discipline for several reasons. We want to see, number one, are we matching the disabilities and helping the student have a level playing field and being successful? Are we not providing some accommodations we may need to provide for some students? And this is all information that we're hoping to start to, we're sifting through. We also sent out a request to parents of our IEP students, and I believe 504 students, asking them for any feedback. How are we doing? We had some very nice responses, which is opening the door to having some more conversations that we need to have.
So is plan execution part of the data as well, like on the administrative or the school end? Is that part of that survey that went out, like how the plans are being executed per student, if they're being executed to the level that is requested, or is that all part of that data collection?
Well, I'm not sure that I quite understand, so let me just see if this answers it, and if not. So, some of the comments that we have heard are, sometimes it doesn't seem accommodations may be fit or may be offered that would meet the disability. Or some people may feel like the school doesn't follow the plan. And that's what we're trying to dig in to provide some data that we can have further conversations and address, because students should be successful. And if students are not having the opportunity because we're not making the proper accommodations, then we need to look at what we're doing.
Okay, thank you.
Ms. Morgan?
So that discussion just made me think of the student support teams, if that's what you still call them. I know that every so often the name gets changed. So is that, the effectiveness of that consistently reviewed in whether or not they are, the procedure that they're using is effective?
Yeah, I think this is all part of what we really need to look at. I have heard that there are a group of people that do not think that we follow IEPs. And that's pretty disturbing. It's very disturbing to me. So we need to dig in and see where we're falling short. That's our responsibility. And this is all part of that plan. And I would encourage people that if you have not reached out to Melissa Fay or myself, to please do, because it's important we hear from you. I also feel very strongly that IEPs need to match the disability. And if I have a student, what I don't want to see are cookie-cutter accommodations on IEPs. And if a student needs something and we don't currently have it, it's still our responsibility to meet the student's need. And so it's time we dug in and looked at the job we're doing.
Okay. When I talk about student support teams, I'm talking about the team where teachers will refer a student that's probably not on an IEP, and they usually will have, well, when I was here, they had a form that the teacher would fill out. Okay. And then they would have certain consistent members of the team, and invite if, say, related service was a concern, they'd invite a related service person. So my question is that looked at to see how effective it is being? And
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyone else? All right, my turn. All right. And also, Ms. Ruiz, I don't know if it's in our packet already, but can we make sure it is in the packet on the website?
What is this?
Oh, I'm sorry, just her goal, her response on her goals. Sorry. All right, so I'll just try to go in order. Goal 1, first item, during the school year, I have provided opportunities for an increase in student voice. Can you just elaborate on that? Like how are we providing more student voice?
Well, that's been something that we've programmed for throughout the school year. Student voice is something that our schools have worked on. When you look at our surveys, it echoes.
Okay.
Students are being heard. But I would also tell you that students have attended programs. We've supported different opportunities for students and increasing it that way.
All right, same paragraph, last one. $3,000 student-initiated project. What is that?
Where I met with the Student Advisory Council at the high school and gave them $3,000 to work with, to come up with a project or projects, and then they would be able to complete the project. And the project that they're completing is to install a water bubbler fill station in the gym. That's what they wanted to do.
Just curious. last sentence of the second paragraph, supported development of alternative classroom dash middle and minor. What's that?
That was the program where we have, that I was
Yeah,
talking.
we talked, that was my question.
All right,
Yeah.
yeah, I was going to say, how does RISE fit into any of this?
That
It
is,
is RISE, okay, we just didn't call it RISE, okay. Okay, goal 2, just further down, it says, high school bleacher replacement. I was just happy to see that in there, that we're not going to, that's not going to fall off the back burner.
Well, we hope not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the upgraded softball field, that came out really nice.
It's beautiful,
Yeah,
isn't
yeah, it really
it?
did.
Yeah. We're really trying to look at Palmer Field, too. One of the things that, when we look at Palmer, we need to do some fencing before, because we have lots of traffic at night in Palmer that we hesitate to put some money in before we do some other security.
Okay. Goal 3. It says, to improve academic performance of all students with specific focus on subgroups. And other than, the MCAS test where we can see it, like, how do we quantify that during the year?
Well, we have a variety of assessments. We have FAST, we have,
All right.
yeah, we have,
So, okay.
Yeah.
I get it then, all right. And it's not really part of this goal, but I'm just kind of curious, like, what are we doing, for the kids in the middle?
well, we're looking at what programs we can offer. Like, we added a couple courses for the high school next year, the computer courses, the gaming, the coding, the car. We're looking at how do we provide our students in the middle opportunities. We've talked about field trip experiences. We've different clubs, different organizations like that.
Okay. And you and I kind of laughed when, we just spoke about this beforehand about, the coding and the gaming, but explain how useful and relevant that is these days.
Yes, actually, Massachusetts Athletic Association has an esports competition teams. Our students, hopefully next year, will go compete with other teams in the state of Massachusetts. Even more exciting, colleges and universities are offering tremendous scholarships now for students in esports and gaming. It's remarkable. So we want our kids to be able to compete and
Yeah, it's not like the basket weaving of the new millennium. It's real. You can get a job, making video games,
yeah, and
So-
more money than any of us here will be making. Yeah.
My son wants to.
Yeah, see? All right, goal 4, this is, communication, and I tend to usually give you really, really high marks on this, on the final evaluation, and I'm sure I will this time around too, but I know you and I have discussed it, but the website does need some help,
I know.
especially the school committee section. It's really hard finding minutes and such.
Yes, you'll be happy to know that we're working on a new website, and it should be launched sometime we're hoping in the summer, and it's been a process. Certainly, there's been many people contributing. I think after we get it launched, we have to go through and then have our pattern to continually update.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
yeah.
Anyone else with any questions or comments? Ms. Spear? All set? All right. Thank you. But I just want to share with the committee as well. I've been working with Dr. Shaver Hood. Now, this is the mid-cycle review, and here we are almost in June. All right. So that's just not really. It's always been like that. I don't know why, but I asked her about moving things around and stuff. So and she was very accommodating. She didn't have to be because she could stick to the contract. But what we decided we're going to do is we're going to move this mid-cycle review for the next year to sometime around January, February. And her contract says that has to give us our goal, her goals, no later than November 30th. We've pushed that up to the end of September. But before that, we're going to look to have a working group, a workshop to get together and discuss the goals first and then, come up with them.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
that would be very helpful.
Yeah, that seemed like a win-win. So I guess with that, we're going to move on. So we're on to the reports of the school committee. Committee assignments, 2019 to 2020. I sent, Ms. Ruiz sent you your committee assignments. I hope you guys were happy. I asked for feedback beforehand. I got some. The ones listed as superintendent advisory committees, those are chosen by the superintendent. And any questions or comments or concerns? Oh.
I have a question.
Sure.
Can you explain to me what the curriculum technology committee is? Because it's been on here for the last 5 years, and I've never met with anyone.
I had the same question.
So I'm just curious. I think it's just been here forever, but I'd like to have some clarity around it. Or
Dr. Shaverwood?
I don't know.
From what I had, Mary, do you ever remember it being back?
We did meet when Laurie and I were new members of the school committee. It was she and I.
Yeah, we met one time because you were new to the committee, and you sort of needed if you want to keep it there, that's all fine, and my job is big, so that's fine too, but I just find it interesting because I always wonder what it's about.
Well, I found that helpful when we did that, very helpful.
Oh, good.
So I guess what I would envision the committee being about is talking about maybe new curriculum that you might be considering, and just getting feedback from some of the members on thoughts about implementing the curriculum. I know that we can't do any voting or make any decisions on it, but you would get some sort of feedback anyways from the committee.
So does the committee request a meeting, or do I request that meeting to get that started, and how often? How does that work? I'm sorry, I really don't understand.
It's a superintendent's advisory committee, so it serves at the pleasure of the superintendent, or I assume she delegate that to you.
So this isn't the school committees. Sorry.
That's fine.
I'm learning.
No, it's confusing. But any other questions or concerns, or, okay?
Well, I don't have a question. I just want to say thank you for reaching out and for asking for our feedback before you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, appreciated that.
You're welcome.
And I have another question, sorry.
Sure.
When is the, this isn't, obviously these are like subcommittees and what have you, but are there set calendar dates or days of the week that these have generally been on previously, or is it sort of when we can get together?
Policy review is usually on Monday.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, I mean...
Everything else is pretty ad hoc.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was my question, just I didn't know if it was or if you have the time, let's get this together, or if it was a regimented subcommittee.
Okay. So, committee assignments, Onset Women's Club Scholarship. So you need to pay attention.
So every year, the high school has a meeting where they offer information on all the high school seniors who have applied for scholarships. And what's really great about it is that when you go there, you're surrounded by lots of other community members who are also there because they're given a scholarship. That's the part that I take with me, that we live in a town that gives out hundreds of thousands of dollars in scholarships. So I was happy to go to look through the applicants and come to Senior Awards Night on June 6th, 5th, and then you'll see who is the lucky recipient of the Onset Women's Club Scholarship.
Awesome.
I have a question about it. Does it have to be someone from Onset, or?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, that's what I said.
And so the guidance office at the high school supplies information on every student who's applied, and they're able to supply that information too. Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay. Justin, after that, back on the school committee assignments. So after I did it all, I'd count them all and see who had, the number of committees people were on, you know, and I had to keep cutting you back because you had so many.
Who, me?
Yeah, and I was like, well, it's just. I was like,
That's fine, cut me back.
well, no, I had to balance it out, but I mean, we're on the building committee, and that counts like at least 2, you know, and I'm on the collaborative.
That's not really a committee of the school committee, though.
True, yeah.
I understand why you have it here, because only 2 of us can be on it.
Yeah.
But that's more of a town committee.
Right, and I actually clarified that with someone, that I when I sent it off, I said that I understood that, but that I'm keeping it here for context, so.
No, I understand, yeah.
And, so that's like the work of 2 committees at least, and I'm on the collaborative, that's like 2 or 3 committees right there, so, yeah. So, moving on, we've got, that's it, any other business? Ms. Ross?
Sorry, I did forget during the good news that I believe that there's a high school student that has been accepted to Harvard this year, which is pretty fantastic for, you know, I've heard some speculation, people, you know, in passing have said that, you know, kids from Wareham don't go to good schools. Well, we've got a kid going to the best schools, so that's, you know.
Last year was Brown.
Yeah, so I just thought that was pretty fantastic to hear, you know, when there's the naysayers about our district, that, you know, we do have students that, you know, who put in the work can achieve whatever they want.
There are a lot of good schools where our students are attending, and they get the breadth of those and depth of those schools, different tiers, different levels, depending upon what they want to do. Is getting wider, and that's quite beautiful to see, where you see kids who are going where they need to go for what they want to do in their life. It wasn't quite as diverse 5 years ago as it is now. It's quite lovely to see.
It's pretty awesome.
Anything else?
I just wanted to ask if we could have a little update on the Minot project. It's so interesting.
What I was going to say.
Oh, good. Okay, well, go ahead.
Yes, so we are in full-blown abatement right now. The first floor has been fully abated. They're moving up to finish it. It should be finished by June. First part of June. June 6th is the target date for the demolition on the exterior to start. So we're right on plan. It's very exciting. Today, the architects and project managers were at the middle school. We invited the elementary teachers to come and see where we were at to date, and to view the different drawings and listen to where we're moving forward with. And so they were thrilled. Very exciting. So stay tuned. You can't get close to Minot. It's fenced, and there's paper all over the windows. They're creating a negative airflow to help with the abatement.
And when is the next building committee meeting?
The 3rd, I believe.
Actually, and I'm curious, how are we doing as far as bus applications?
Slow.
So I don't think it's been reported in the news at all, has it?
I don't know if the papers have picked it up. We've sent home numerous reminders. It's on our website. I know today another announcement was going out, and we're making our list this year.
I got another email today. When you go to the website, it pops up as
Right,
a
I've seen
reminder
that.
every time you go.
Yeah.
I may have just filled my note today.
And the deadline is the end of this month, right?
Yeah, we really need people to
Pops up just
take
like
it
this.
seriously.
Speak of the devil. All right. Anything else? Oh.
She wanted to see.
No, I saw it. Yeah. Anything else?
No.
All right. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
I did.
Abstentions? Passes 5-0. We're adjourned.